All right, we are recording. All right, cool. All right, who else we got down here? We got Kenny, we got Ray. Yeah, I caught you there. Caught you being quiet over there. So good. Glad to have you guys on here tonight. We'll have more people come on. And as you guys come in, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know who you are so we can all get a chance to get to know you, get to meet you. And for you guys who are new to National Wealth Center and NWC Thrive, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you on here as always. And guys, as we go through tonight's training, feel free to drop any questions you have in the Q&A section or in the chat section if you want to drop it there, either way. And I'll make sure that by the end of tonight's training that we've covered your questions, okay? Make sure you get answers to those questions. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about traffic, okay, traffic. Now, there's a couple of terms I'm going to use tonight, and there's a big difference between the two of them, okay? There's traffic, and then there's leads, all right? So you guys may know the difference, but I've actually had this question a lot in the past where people are like, well, what's the difference? Traffic is just leads or clicks or views or whatever coming to your website. That's traffic, okay? So there's a flow of people coming to your website. Leads are people who actually opt into your website. So there's a huge difference there. So what we're going to talk about tonight is how to drive traffic to your website, your National Wealth Center NWC Thrive capture page, and get as many leads as possible from that traffic, okay? So there's a site, and I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, I haven't used this site in a long time, and man, has it changed so much over the years. But I remember back in the day when I first got started in this, I was using Udimi quite a bit to find the best solo ad providers out there, and man, it's come a long way since I got first started. You know, there's a lot of solo ad vendors where there's a few inside of NWC Thrive where you don't have to do any research. You don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. You can just go and use our trusted sources that we have inside of Thrive to start driving really high quality traffic to your capture page system right away, okay? But for you guys who want to kind of branch off a little bit, try different things, try different ad vendors, we're going to show you how to use Udimi, okay? And again, some of you guys may be completely new to Udimi. That's okay. Or some of you guys may have been like me who hadn't used it in a while, and it has changed a lot over the years for sure. And this has really become the #1 spot for people to come and buy solo ad traffic. It's also one of the #1 spots to sell solo ad traffic if you're a solo ad traffic vendor. So Udimi is basically a marketplace. It's kind of like the Craigslist or the Fiverr or a website like that. It's a marketplace where solo ad vendors and people who are looking for traffic to their work from home, network marketing, affiliate marketing websites can come together and work out a deal. Okay, so it's really kind of competitive, which is good because it allows prices to drop and there to be some sales and some deals to be made. So I'm going to show you guys how to kind of go through this. And it's we've got some training back there inside of NWC Thrive to show you how to do this, but it's gotten, I don't want to say complicated. There's just so many more filters and options now than there used to be. So I think it's worthy to do a video on this and show you guys how to navigate your way around back here. Let me move my video out of the way. All right, so let me just check. I think there's a question already. No, there's not a question. Okay, Victoria, what's going on? Victoria from Cleveland, Ohio. Good to see you here. And again, guys, as I'm going through all this, feel free to drop any questions in the Q&A section or the chat section, and we'll get to those, okay? Now, if you guys haven't signed up for a Udimi account, then you can, all right? There's a link inside of NWC Thrive to sign up for Udimi, but it is, and I'll go ahead and tell you this, most links inside of NWC Thrive are not referral links, okay? I will tell you this, though, full transparency, our Udimi link is. So if you would rather give that credit to your sponsor inside of National Wealth Center, by all means, reach out to them and say, hey, I'm thinking about signing up for Udimi. Do you have a Udimi link that I can sign up with? Okay, they'll really appreciate that. And I know we have several members who already are members of Udimi, and they'll earn a referral commission every time you buy traffic. Okay, but we don't do this out of wanting to just make more money off you or anything like that. It's just, if we're going to add a link back there, why not make it a referral link? Okay, since we have one. So full transparency there. But guys, you can sign up for Udimi either with your sponsor's link, our link, doesn't matter. You can just go to udemy.com and sign up if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. But once you log in, guys, you're going to see, you're probably going to land on this page unless you've made some changes to your back office, okay? So you're going to see some links on the left-hand side of the page. You're going to see some links at the top, okay? A menu at the top. So what we're going to do is tonight I'm going to focus on two sections. This section right here called Find Sellers. We're going to find solo ad sellers, and then solo deals. Okay, we're going to talk about both of these tonight. So for you guys who are not familiar with solo ads, I guess we ought to cover that first, right? So a solo ad is basically when you reach out to a vendor, and that's what we're doing here, who has an email list. I mean, some of them have email lists, 200,000, 300,000, hundreds of thousands of people on their email list, of people who are interested in a home-based business or people who have bought into a home-based business in the past. That's what we call a buyer's list. So these are the people you want to get in touch with and say, hey, I tell you what, let me give you this much money and you send an email out to this many people on your list. Okay, that's basically what you're doing with a solo ad. And with a solo ad, and we'll get into this in a minute, you can write your own ad copy if you want, or you can have them to write your ad copy for you. You can also learn and go online and find some examples as well. But that's basically what you're doing, guys. You're finding somebody with a really big list of people who are looking for an online business, a home-based business. Maybe they bought into one in the past, and you're getting them to send out an email for you to advertise to their list. Okay? So with knowing that, let's go find us some sellers. Okay? So let's click on this Find Sellers tab. And now this is what I was talking about, guys. There's a lot more filters than there used to be. There used to be like 5 filters at the top here, like maybe not even that many. So now there's all these different filters you can filter by, which is really, really good because it allows you to really narrow down what it is you're trying to look for and get the most bang for your buck when it comes to purchasing solo ads. So let's go through some of these, and you may not see some of these on your screen. And if you don't, there's a filter button right here. If you click that, you can add different things on there. All right, so let's just go through each one of these guys. The first one you're going to see here is visitors. Okay, so and I do recommend doing this. Don't just go through here aimlessly. Make sure you fill out these filters first. So let's choose how many visitors we want. How many clicks do you want to your website? Okay, 300 is a good number to start with. If you're just really wanting to just test them out, then you could do 100 or 200. Let's just choose 100 for this. Okay, it's a small sample, but it should give you a reasonable idea of how well they'll do. Our max price, okay, I would probably, honestly, some solo ad vendors, some of the best in the industry are charging around $1. So you do kind of get what you pay for. But again, this is Udimi. So there's a lot of competition here, which drives prices down, okay? So everybody's competing with one another. So you will find lower prices on here than you would at some of these vendors if you went directly to their websites. But I would choose probably around 60 cents max, okay? And that's right about middle of the road here with this. Actually, it's a little on the lower end, but I think 60 cents is a good ballpark area to shoot for. If you guys want a little bit better quality, then you could bump that up a little bit as well. Ratings with sales. Okay, so this ratings with sales factor is, and they've changed this also because it used to be, I think it was the last 20 sales or 30 sales. But now what this does is this is the percentage of sales that they made for somebody. So let's say somebody was promoting their National Wall Center business with this seller, and they bought, 100 clicks or whatever, and they got a sell. Well, that would go into this ranking factor. Okay, so it says right here, see only sellers who have generated sales from customers on the 100 latest solo ads. Okay, the 100 latest campaigns they did. So what percentage of those would you want to see? So I would say I'd like to see at least 20% sales. Okay, higher if possible. See, if you get too high, you're not going to see any. But 20%, that means out of 20% of the last 100 solo ad campaigns they did, they got sales, verified sales from the customers that they gave the solo ads to. So that's a good signal that they've got some good buyers and an active list, right? So I would leave that probably about 20%, maybe even higher if you can. And sort by, okay? Most of you guys are probably going to want to sort by price, all right? That is probably a good area to start. Since we're really fine-tuning this anyway, we should get a good list of the type of people we want. So you could do price, you could do it by ratings or how many sales they've had. Ratings would also be a good one. Let's just do price for now. Actually, I'm going to go to ratings. Change my mind halfway through. Now, if you want to exclude any categories of people, you can. And this is typically if you've already used Udemy in the past. So like if you were rejected by a previous person, or you got a future solo ad set up with somebody, or you had a bad experience, okay, then you can like hide those people, right? For most part, if you're new to Udemy, this will not probably pertain to you, right? The seller was last seen how long ago? Well, I don't want somebody who hadn't been online for the last couple months, right? So I probably want them to be online in the last 24 hours. That means they're very active. That means they're really into what they're doing here. They do this full time probably, and they're very responsive to get back to questions if I have any questions for them. Okay, so I'm going to say seller last seen in the last 24 hours. List verification. So Udemy can actually verify the list of these people if they choose to let Udemy do that. So that's not a bad idea, right? We want to make sure that these people have a solid list. They really have a list. They're not sending me bot traffic or anything like that. So you can put list verification verified by Udemy, right? If you guys don't care about it, just put not verified or put all, okay? But I probably would rather see that they are verified with their list. Now, there are some other filters on here. So let me click on filter. Definitely want this one, okay? Start within. So how soon do you want to start your campaign? Do you want to start it next week? Do you want to start it tomorrow? How soon do you want to set that up? And some of the best, I don't want you guys to cheat yourself on this, because some of the best vendors out there won't be able to get your campaign started for the next 72 hours or longer. So I would probably choose 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. You know, don't be in a rush about it, because I don't want you to cheat yourself out of getting somebody good. But some of the best can also do pretty quick, okay? For example, one of the gentlemen we use inside of Thrive, and he's not on here, or he probably is on here, but we've got a link and a discount to his direct website. He can get started within hours, okay, usually. So it really just depends on the vendor. But I would choose probably, unless you're just in a super big hurry and you need to do 24, 48 hours, okay, I would do 3 days or longer, okay? That'll give you more variety of people you can choose from. Also under filter, you can do verified ratings, okay? So if you want, you know, if you want them to have 100+ good ratings, which isn't a bad place to be, then I would just put that verified ratings up there. That's not a bad idea. Okay, main traffic source. All right, you can, actually, yeah, this I definitely would do. Okay, this is going to say where's the primary portion of their traffic coming from, and I would choose one that's United States. Okay, it's a lot easier to work with people in the United States. Usually, you know, because they can set up their, I mean, they can have the national website take their payments, and they're nearby. They've got the same, maybe not the same area code, but it's not long distance to call them. So I would probably shoot for United States. If not, just do top tier countries. Okay, that's going to do UK, Canada, America, US, Australia, New Zealand, I believe, and a couple of others. So that would probably be better. Just do top tier countries, because those are all great countries to work with people, right? Top tier countries. Now let's see if I'm missing any other ones here. No, the seller's language, I don't really care as long as they can speak some English. Seller located, I don't care where they're located at. And keyword, this used to be a big thing, where you could put like what kind of area or what kind of keywords, you know, what kind of customers that these people are looking for, but I'm not going to worry about it for this. Okay, so let's just click save. All right, and it automatically updates the list anyway, and it's only showing me 4 out of everything that I just put in there. So it really helps to narrow things down. And one of these is a promoted seller. Now, do keep that in mind, guys. The very first one on the list here, it says promoted. They paid to be in that spot right there. Now, that doesn't mean they're a bad seller or anything like that. They might be a great seller, but they also did meet all of our qualifications and all of our filters. So that's why they're still up here, right? So they wouldn't be a bad person to use either, especially if they got a cheap rate and they got a good percentage of sales and good reviews. Then it's probably not a bad idea to use them. So let's just look through some of these here briefly, and I'll show you how to kind of get down into this and kind of narrow it down even further. And another thing you can do, guys, is you can chat with these people. Now, this guy Edgar's is online right now, so you could actually message him right now and probably talk to him right away if you have any questions about his service or anything like that. So let's just let's click on him real quick. So I'm pull this up. Now, I didn't even ask. Suppose everybody can see my screen just fine, or else y'all would be yelling at me. So on the list, I mean, on the screen here, Edgar's Skujins, I can't say that. He is from Latvia. 25% of 25% of the campaigns he's done, the last 100 campaigns, 25% of them got sales. Okay, that's really good. 40 cents per click is super, super cheap. He does have a 24, I'm sorry, these are repeat customers. I'll show you refunds in a minute. That's repeat customers, so 24% is actually really good. Okay, average time it takes for the seller to accept an order is 2 hours. That's not bad at all. Okay, and you can see up here he's got 1,181 positive reviews versus 4. So that's a very good ratio right there. And you can kind of choose right here. Let me scroll down first before we go through this. This is if you're ready to buy, you just go right here. But let's scroll down a little bit. I want to get you some more details. Okay, so it says right here, 15% of all of these sales got, I'm sorry, 15% of all these orders got sales. Okay, of all the orders, all right? 19% it didn't apply to because it was some kind of free offer, and 25% reported that they didn't get any sales. It says 0% were refunded, 41% gave no ratings, and it says 0% bad ratings. I guess 4 doesn't calculate into that. So 4 bad ratings, that's not that bad at all. And then you can actually go through and read the reviews. Okay, read some of the most recent reviews to see what, you know, if they over delivered, if they liked their solo ad, if they hated it, whatever. Very good traffic, normal traffic, 23% opt-in rate, no sales yet. Okay, and as you guys know, or I hope you know, when you're driving traffic to a website, all right, most of the time, 95% of the time or more, when you're driving solo ad traffic, especially to your National Well Center website, people are going to opt in. They're going to play around a little bit, look around, kick the tires a little bit, and probably look at the opportunity about 5, 6, 7 times before they even make a decision whether they're going to join or not. That's why we have the follow-up autoresponders. That's why we tell you guys to get them on our opportunity webinars on Sunday nights and all that other fun stuff, right? It'd be nice, like, wouldn't that be awesome if they just came in and they got it right away, like maybe some of us did, and they were like, this is awesome, I'm going to join National Well Center. That'd be great. And sometimes that does happen. It's just very rare. So like with this guy's review, you got to take that with a grain of salt, because, you know, most people, like, he may have just left the review right after he got the order, and most sales don't happen for a few days in. Okay, so do keep that in mind when you're reading these reviews. It says right here, only promote landing pages with single opt-in forms and no phone number requests. Okay, so this is why it's important to read these things. So if you guys are using a capture page with a phone number, change that. Well, change it for this, okay? And normally the reason why they want this, solo ad providers want to get the highest opt-in rate possible. Okay, that's kind of their end product, is the amount of opt-ins that they can get. And they know if you take that phone number field off of the capture page, that opt-in rate is going to go up. So it looks good on them. And I mean, it gets you more opt-ins. That's not really a bad thing. Minimum 95% tier 1 guaranteed. That's really good. Okay, and we'll get into his traffic in a minute. Buyer's list included. So it means he's also sharing this, your ad, with the buyer's list also. Up to 15% over delivery guaranteed. That's pretty typical, but that's good to see. New subscribers added daily. That's good. And you can read all this other stuff about it, okay? Fast delivery, 100% email traffic from my list. My list works great with internet marketing, IM, MMO, crypto, and BizOp offers. So it's pretty big variety of stuff. Please use single opt-in forms with name and email only. Single opt-in means that they opt in and they're on the list. Double opt-in is where they opt into your website, but there's like another link that goes out in the email. They have to confirm their opt-in. That's called double opt-in. So the NWC Thrive sales pages, don't worry, they're all single opt-in. All right, so just make sure you don't have the email on, the phone number on there if you're going to be using this guy. Now, when we go down a little bit further, you can see his average traffic geography. So basically where his traffic is coming from, and 98% of it is top tier. You can see 87% is US, 6% Canada, 5% UK, and only 2% with the rest. Filter clicks is 8%. So one of the cool things about running the traffic through Udimi is that Udimi will actually filter by default. It's going to filter the traffic to make sure there's no bogus junk, double emails or anything like that. They make sure that you get what you're paying for here, and it doesn't cost you a thing for them to do that. But this shows you how much of their traffic, this guy's traffic, they've had to filter, and quite frankly, 8% is really, really low. So, but that is good to see. 3K verified list. List size of this person has been verified by Udimi, provided by GetResponse, size 2834. So that's a really small list, unless it's changed since it's been verified. I don't really know, and maybe he does really small solo ads. I'm not sure. Some of these guys have huge lists. So do keep that in mind, and just look at all this stuff. So one thing I would say, and this would probably make me hesitant to use this guy, is that, like, check this out. If I was to choose, so his max is 700. Okay, well that's a quarter of his list, right? So how many other people are ordering from him, and how much is he blowing up that list? You know what I mean? It might be kind of saturated. It might be hit kind of hard. So I don't know if I want to do that with that small of a list, but you know, it might be fine as well. Okay, he might be filtering out. He might have added more since it's been verified as well. I don't know. So that's just one guy. Let me go back here and let's look at some other guys. So here's another one, and I was actually looking at this one earlier. 200K plus list, 3,000 to 5,000 new subscribers weekly. Tier 1, 97% plus 15% over delivery. Guaranteed buyers included. 20 to 30K in affiliate sales a month. Check screenshots. Let's check this guy out, okay? Because he's a little bit more expensive, 49 cents a click, which is still like half the rate of some people. And he's got 30% of his last 100 campaigns made sales. So let's click on this real quick. Indulus is this guy's name. And let's just go through his stuff real quick, his stats. Okay, impeccable right here. 1,248 positive, 1 negative review. Okay, 21% return rate of customers, repeat customers. That's really good. 49 cents. He gets started in 3 hours. Okay, and he's also from Latvia, so that's pretty interesting. If you go down here, got 1,248. Okay, here's the reviews again. Only 1% were refunded, so that's good. Start reading some stuff here. So you got the #1 positive review, and you got the #1 negative review here. Waste of money. Don't follow up. Not read his messages. Blah blah blah. So you go through all of them, all right, or just go through some of them, as many you need to. And Hall of Fame member, won award. Increase your ROI by getting high qualified visitors to your website. So you can read all this stuff and go through, but that does look better that he's got a 200,000 plus list with high open rates. Tier 1 is 97% or higher. Buyers included. Proof of sales speak for themselves. Okay, so here's some reviews. All right. He knows how to sell it, I'll tell you that. All right. So let's just go down here. He's got 99% of his list is Tier 1. US is 95%. Huge. Okay, so this is looking really good. The verified list is 27,000. List size of this person has been verified by Udimi. Provider was through Aweber. So he's provided 27,000 verified. So I'm not sure why those numbers are so low compared to what he's saying. I don't know. That's still more than what the last person said, right? So this guy looks like he might be pretty solid. I would say he's worth trying out anyway. So what if you find somebody and you're ready to order? What do you do? Well, first, before we get into actually placing the order, you're going to need to make a decision because with a solo ad, you need to provide, at least on Udemy. Okay, now if you go through one of our other solo ad vendors inside of NWC Thrive, they all have a ad swipe copy for you. Ad swipe is basically the text that's going to go into the email to promote your capture page, to get people to click on the link in the email and go to your capture page and opt in. So most of you guys are not copywriters, are you? All right, most of you guys never created a solo ad in your life. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't done it in a long time because I've used other solo ad providers that do everything for me. But at this point, you know, you got really 3 options. Okay, your first option is, and this is only if you've done it before, is to create your own ad copy, right? Maybe you're a professional, or maybe you've done this before, you're good at this, then go ahead, by all means, write your own ad copy, keep it brief, short, to the point, and write something that's going to convert, okay? And then what you do is you'll provide it. You just put, I have ad text. You'd provide your ad copy here. okay? Second option, and this is what I recommend for you guys to do, go out and learn, all right? Go out on YouTube, go out on Google, and learn about ad copy. Look up solo ad copy examples, solo ad campaigns, solo ad case study. Look up everything you can about solo ad swipes or ad copies, all right? And there's videos, there's podcasts. I know Eco or KFETS did a podcast not too long ago on creating ad copy. So that would be a good resource. There's a bunch of resources online. I recommend just watching some videos or reading up on Google. And there's a lot of really, really good articles on how to write effective ad swipe copy. Just be sure that you keep in mind the National Wall Center business. When you're writing it, you want to make sure everything flows. Also, check out your capture page and get a good visual of your capture page before you start writing the ad copy so you know that it all meshes well and mixes together. So first option is you're just good to go. You can go ahead and start writing it. 2, you need to do some research on how to create your ad copy and then write it. 3 is you can do this. You can go on here and I can message Indelists, okay? I can say, hey, this is the link to my website. Can you create some ad copy for me? All right, he'll happily do it. Some of these, excuse me, some of these vendors will do it for you for free. Some of them will charge you, okay? So just keep that in mind. It might charge you a little bit, but it might be worth it as well, considering that they know their list and what their list is most likely to click on, and what's gonna get them the best rate possible, best opt-in rate possible. So it's not always a bad idea to let them do it, but if you could start writing your own ad copy, you know the National Wall Center business better than any of these vendors probably do. I mean, I might be wrong, but most likely you're going to know more about the business than they do. And if you can start writing your own ad copy, you're just going to save some money. So I think that's a win-win in the long run, okay? So once you figure that out, how you're going to do your ad copy, and again, you could just message them to find out if they offer it for free, and they might. Then you need to choose how many clicks you want. How many visitors do you want to your website? This does not mean how many opt-ins and how many leads. What we're doing is buying traffic. Remember, there's a difference between traffic and leads. What we're aiming for is to get leads, which will eventually convert to sales, right? But first, we need to buy traffic. So let's scroll this back a little bit, okay? Unless you just want to go all out, okay? But I imagine you guys want to start a little smaller. So let's say we're going to do 200 visitors. Okay, it's $101 even, all right? Or if that's too rich for your blood, go down to like 150, okay? Choose which day you want it to start on, all right? Today is the 13th, so cool, he could start it tomorrow. So we would just start it tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to I have ad text, all right? I'm going to pretend that I've already reached out to him and he said, hey, don't worry about it, I'll put the ad copy in there, okay? Now, there's different filters on here. This one you can't uncheck and you don't want to uncheck it. It says right here, for your protection, this filter cannot be turned off. It saves you money by ignoring the junk and useless and duplicate traffic, okay? So again, Udimi is going to filter out some traffic for you automatically. So that's nice that they do that. Prime filter, for extra 3 cents per visitor, you could use their Prime filter, which just goes like a step further, okay? So I personally wouldn't use it, but you can if you really want to spend that extra 3 cents per visitor. Only top tier. So with a seller like this, who has, where was he at? 99% top tier, I'm not worried about any kind of filter to get rid of that 1% of that aren't top tier, okay? So I wouldn't worry about that. Plus it's 10 cents per visitor, so that's crazy. For National Wealth Center, for our capture page systems, I wouldn't worry if it was mobile or not mobile traffic, so I wouldn't worry about these either. Okay, so the only one really here that needs to be checked is the base filter, and you don't even have a choice about that anyway. All right, next thing you need to do, guys, is you need to go into your NWC Thrive capture page system, and you got a couple of options. You could just, right-click and copy your link here, or what I would recommend doing is setting up tracking. Okay, so we've already gone over that several times, how to set up tracking. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to create a name for your tracking link, like solo ad or what's this guy's name? Indelists. I'd put that at the end of it. Indelists. All right, and so you just create a tracking link, grab that tracking link, come back over here, and then you just paste it in here, right? All right. And right here it says, if you want to check this, I would. I would, unless you're still doing something with your site, you need some time or something. You shouldn't be ordering traffic though unless your system's ready. So I would just go ahead and have this checked. Give the seller the option to go ahead and start sending traffic right away if they can. Okay, because a lot of times they can go ahead and start sending traffic. So leave that check and then just add to cart, and then you can check out. The rest of it is really self-explanatory. You know, if you can check out of Amazon, or if you can check out of Netflix or wherever else you do it online, then you'll be able to do this. Okay, just put in your credit card and pay. All right. So pretty simple, guys. Just do your homework, do your research. It does go a long ways to do that here, and start off small. Like this guy, his lowest is 125. Okay, so you may, like, maybe you're wanting to start smaller than that. I don't know. Then you might need to use a different vendor. Okay, but honestly, I would say 300 is probably a good sample. I wouldn't order 100 clicks from somebody. No, I mean, it's okay if you do, but I wouldn't order 100 clicks from somebody and then say, oh, they're trash, or it doesn't work, or their traffic is a terrible opt-in rate, because it's such a small sample of what could be a potentially huge list, right? If it's really 200,000 or more people on his list. So, you know, just keep that in mind. If you're going to be ordering small, it's a small sample of his list, okay? So I hope that helps, guys. Now, next up, I was going to show you guys how to find some deals on solo ads. Again, this is a competitive marketplace here. And there's a little tab up here called Solo Deals. And on here, you can actually find some really good deals. It's kind of more like a forum. It's kind of more like the Craigslist side of this, okay, where people can just kind of post offers. Maybe they have a deal for the day, a deal for the week, deal for the next 12 hours. You never know. But you can click on here if you see a price point you like let's say 40 cents here. That sounds good. Bonus 10%, top tier 90% plus, top 5 got most sales. Let's read this. All right. So 13% of his last 100 campaigns. So that's 13 of the last 100 got sales. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not that great either though. I'll tell you that. Let's see what else he's got going on here. Sold 34 solos in the last couple of days, so his sell is working. And then you can kind of see what's going on with him. And that's about all the information you get here. You don't get a whole lot of information about him. But get as much as you can off the page here and then make a decision. You know, honestly, that's still not, I mean, it's 40 cents. Maybe he's normally more expensive. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like that great of a deal. Let's see what else we got. Top 1 seller for April, number 1. I got sales ratings in April, 45 cents. He's had a lot of orders. Let's click on him and see what's going on with him. He's been here since 1992. All right, he was seen on here the last 4 hours. Another thing, guys, you can look at is the person's profile picture. I mean, solo ad people tend to be a little bit flamboyant, and so don't hold that against this guy here. But just make sure they are somebody that looks like they might be in this profession and not somebody who's working out of a, I don't know. You know, I don't want to offend anybody, but, you know, just make sure they look like they might know what they're doing, and then maybe they've been doing this for a while. So 1992 is the number of ratings, positive ratings he's got. 7 is the negative there. 27% of his last 100 have gotten sales from their campaigns, which is really good. It's really good there. 90% return, that's not bad. Top 1 in April for sales, sold 40 solos in the last couple of days. Hall of Fame member, 11 awards. That's pretty impressive. 90% tier 1 traffic for MMO, BizOp, MLM, crypto, so pretty much everything. 1,000 plus new subscribers added every day. Fast delivery. Check out my solo deals. And guys, the reason why they point this out here, 1,000 new subscribers added every day. That's 1,000 new subscribers added to their list every day, not yours. But that means that they have a fresh list. Like they're always, freshening up their list and getting rid of the old. If people are unsubscribing, they're adding new ones. So there's new eyeballs all the time. They're not just driving the same kind of offers to the same people all the time. Okay, 90% tier 1, that's good. 13% tier filtered clicks, and he doesn't have a verified list. You know, and that's not always bad. I do like to see the verified list though. So this is another guy I might want to use, but again, this is under the solo deals, and let's go back to the solo deals. And it's just really like, again, it's kind of like a forum where other people can throw out offers that they're wanting to give, okay? And in the past, I've never used this section. I've always used just this section, find sellers. So, because I like to be able to filter through and get it down to exactly what I'm looking for. All right. So I hope that's helpful, guys. Those are the two different options as far as buying solo ad providers here, solo ads here. Now, once you do place an order, you'll see on the side here, if you already placed your order, then you're going to see my solos here. Okay, that'll be your future orders, past orders, all that are going to be under there. Messages, so if you've had any messages with any sellers, maybe you're trying to coordinate with one of these sellers about creating you a solo ad swipe copy, then check your messages there. Any ad text you've used in the past will be here, which is kind of cool. And there's a few other things in here as well. Okay, activate Prime if you want to pay. I think it's $20 a month for that, which is just again just another filter on the traffic. So it just kind of, it's like a high-end filter that's going to filter out a little bit more of the junk. But I don't know that it's really that. I don't know that it's really that worth it. But I've never used it. So, anyways, guys, that's how you can find some really good traffic on Udimi. This is by no means the only place to find solo ad vendors online. There's other places as well. This is become one of the #1 marketplaces online to find solo ad vendors. Another one that I've used in the past is Solo Ads X. And one thing I did like about them is that they would have, and I'm not even sure if they still have it. I haven't been to the website in a little while. They used to have a little tool where you could actually create ad copy. Okay, like right there on the site, like it would help you to write out ad copy and give you examples and all that. I thought that was pretty cool that they had that, and they probably still do have that somewhere. But I believe they turned that into a membership site as well, and it's I can't remember if it cost anything or not. It's, again, been a couple of years. But that's also another resource you could use, Solo Ads X. But most people trust Udimi. It's just become the #1 marketplace for solo ad vendors. Okay, so all that, and guys, if you do become an affiliate of Udimi, there will be affiliate information here. So if you got any referrals or anything like that, and if one day you guys decide, hey, I've got a big list at this point. I've got 100,000 subscribers. Maybe I want to start selling some solo ads. All right, but then you could do that. Okay, I would recommend going through some training first and learning, doing some courses, probably get some mentorship from somebody in the industry first before you decide to do that. But if you decide to go the solo ad route, want to start selling your own, you could do that on here as well. Okay, I think it's from the home page, somewhere where you can go to sell. Okay, I'm not sure where that's at, but I don't sell. So guys, I hope that it has been helpful. And I kind of wanted to do it again. I want to do this video because I felt like, we got it written out for you, but this is a lot. It's going to help you a lot more as far as really honing it down and figuring out what all categories, what all filters you want to use to figure out who to use. So let me see if we got any questions here. Do I like Traffic for Me? Traffic for Me. I don't believe I've tried Traffic for Me. Harris Feldman. Yeah, I don't know that name either. Traffic for Me. It seems like, yeah, and one thing I'll tell you guys, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the industry. And if you guys are on Facebook and you're friends with any network marketers, you already know what I'm getting ready to tell you. There's a lot of people out there sharing different traffic options, and that's all good and all, but I'm always super skeptical, and for good reason, when something has an affiliate opportunity attached to it. And I say that even though Udimi does, but I think Udimi should, because I'm not selling you on Invilis or Edgar's here, right? I do think Udimi is a great resource though, but if there's most of the standalone programs that say we give you this many leads a day, 1,000 leads a month, something like that, I'm usually super skeptical of, because I've seen so many of those things. There's one back in the day called Penny for Profits. If you look up on YouTube, I did a review of them back in the day. I'm embarrassed to even tell you guys that. It's been a couple years now since I did that video. But I tried out that one. I've tried out a couple of other ones, and the traffic just wasn't any good. And some of them will have built-in emailers, and I tried doing those, and the emails, it's like no response. So I don't know. I'm really skeptical sometimes. And I'm not saying, Kenny, that Traffic for Me is that. I have no idea what Traffic for Me is. But you just made me think of all the other things that are popping up right now. And I won't name any names, but just be skeptical. Be skeptical. Be skeptical of Udimi. All right, do your due diligence. Go in here and check it out. Check out all the people in here. Read their reviews. Be skeptical. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, as long as at the end of the day you have some traffic coming to your website, because at the end of the day, traffic is the lifeblood of your business. If you don't have leads coming in and people and eyeballs looking at your site, then essentially your website or essentially your business is dead, right? If you don't have any customers looking at your end product or your service or your business, then, you know, something's not right there. No pulse to your business. So, and I understand, like, if somebody goes through a week, 2-week low or something where they're just like, I don't really have any extra budget right now to pay for any traffic. I get that. I totally do. And that's okay if you're in a slump right now and you need to bounce back up. Okay. There's also other options as well as get it, you know, doing social media, video, and other forms of free or cheap, inexpensive forms of advertising. Like, I know a lot of people still use Craigslist and pay the $5 per ad. It's super cheap. I think some cities might be more than that, but they find ways to do it, right? They find ways to get leads and people looking at their business, you know. And I know people hate on posting in Facebook groups. So there's all these free post your business, spam our group Facebook groups, right? Where they say, post all your business links and all this stuff here. You know, people used to laugh at me because I'd post stuff in there all the time. I did that a lot in the beginning. I had a soft piece of software that would do it for me at one point. And people would laugh at me and they say, Brandon, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Nobody checks out those Facebook groups for that. And for the most part, they were right. But there was a small percentage of people that would click on my ads and come over and check out my website. And that's actually where I got good at writing ad copy, is because I had to outcompete all these other people in these Facebook groups, because there's hundreds of people posting in there every day about their business. And, you know, eventually you start getting really competitive and you get good at it. Okay. So don't let any way you find to get some traffic to your website, that's all it takes. Okay. So remember, that's the lifeblood of your business. You got to have leads coming in somehow. Right. So, and Kenny, if you've tried traffic for me, let me know. I haven't tried that yet though. All right, let's see. I got a question here. Okay, so Kenny said that he sent out a broadcast message for the Sunday Opportunity webinar, and he noticed that he has a test email account that he's opted in with. He said it ended up in his spam folder. I'm assuming that it ended up in most people's spam folders. A way to verify. There's not a way to verify that, but just because it ended up in yours doesn't necessarily mean it ended up in everybody else's. I mean, it probably did end up in some people's, but Google is really funny now, for one. And like, they know what you think is spam and what you don't think is spam. It's not exactly AI, but they have learning mechanics and learning stuff in their software now, so they know what you don't like to see. And so for some people it might go to spam and some people it won't. But also you got to keep in mind that we have hundreds of users here using our Thrive platform, so it's a constant battle. I was explaining this to somebody the other day. It's a constant battle that we have, and I'm always talking with our programmers about this, you know, with protecting our IP, okay, our IP address, our server, our email server, because with so many users on NWC Thrive using it and sending out emails, we have to keep an eye on what's coming back as spam, what's not, reprimanding users and saying, hey, you can't send that kind of stuff out or else it's going to hurt everybody. And then doing things to to try and repair the IP on the other end. That's where the programmers come in. It's a constant battle. If you guys want to avoid dealing with any spam or any of your emails going to spam, then I recommend getting a third-party autoresponder. Okay, that way you really don't even have to worry about it, because any third-party autoresponder, I shouldn't say any, most third-party autoresponder services get response. I have no issue with any emails going to spam. So if you use your own third-party autoresponder, you won't have to worry about that at all. So if you want to just make sure for sure that all of your emails are getting delivered to the inbox, then use a third-party autoresponder. We've got a bunch of options now that integrate with our software. I just mentioned GetResponse because I use it, but there's a bunch of other ones out there. Drip, although I think it might be a little more complicated. ConvertKit, Aweber's back there, but I don't recommend it. and a few other options back there as well. So lots of options to integrate, and it's not really that expensive. And at the end of the day, it's kind of a good idea for you guys to start integrating your own third-party autoresponder, because that way you can start building your list in one place. And then if, later on you decide, hey, I like, I'm doing well in National Wall Center, I'm going to expand and add another opportunity. Well, then now you've got all your email lists in one place, under one roof, so to speak. Different lists, but in the same place, like with GetResponse or Aweber or something. Okay. All right. So, Kenny answered me. He said, no, just tried them Saturday. We'll let you know the results. Nothing yet. Okay, cool. Yeah. Let me know. Yeah. And I'm always interested to hear about new things. Again, there's like a couple of things that are being pushed really heavy out there right now. And it's really funny to watch, because like usually when somebody's pushing something so hard, it's usually because there's a commission at the end of the day that they're going to get from you. And so that's why I'm really skeptical when somebody that's why you don't see people out there really pushing Udemy. Okay. Like there's not a whole lot of people just saying, hey, you got to go to Udemy. You got to go to Udemy. Right? Because I'm sure the commissions aren't that big here. Where with some of these other things, it's like you're getting 50% of the commission or something. And so like, how good can the leads actually be? I don't know. They'd have to prove me wrong, but be skeptical. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope that's been helpful. Any other questions before we sign off here tonight? See. All right, no questions. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I hope you have found that helpful. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope you guys have found that helpful. There will be a recording of this up in the back office sooner or later. It's kind of a longer one, so it might take some time to process. But as soon as that's ready, we'll have it up in the back office. But I hope you guys have a great night. Have a great week ahead, and happy marketing out there. And if you need anything at all, remember, your sponsor is your first line of communication, but we should be a close second, and it's support at nwcthrive.com. So let us know if you need anything at all. All right, guys, you all have a great night. We'll see you on the next webinar.